Hey guys, welcome back to the DX Gamer Show. My name is OperationDx, and I'm going to try to double up again here on Wednesday, March 27th, 2013. Welcome back for my 5th episode in my Simcity Let's Play. So in this episode, we're pretty much just going to grow everything up. We're going to expand on some of the infrastructure that we've already put in place, and we're pretty much going to just try to strengthen and set up for some of the later stuff down the road. So again, this isn't really a housekeeping, but it kind of is a housekeeping, and we're just going to, do what we can to strengthen everything. So here we're looking at some of the benefits of what we've done earlier, and we're really starting to fill in with the low but medium density housing and stuff in our residential zones, and the commercial zones are starting to come up, and that's exactly what we want to happen. So let's go ahead and upgrade our city hall for future expansions. Now, we probably aren't going to add any expansions for a little bit here. The next expansion that I'm probably going to add to the city hall is the emergency services. I don't know what the name of that. I keep forgetting the name of it, but it's the one that allows the the precinct and the hospital and the large firehouse, and that's probably the next most important one for this particular city. So something else I didn't really talk about in the previous episodes too is kind of like the way the roads work in this game, and the reason why I'm not going to upgrade these roads. And the roads pretty much control the maximum density that you can get in the stuff connected to it. So if you wanted to have really high density, we would keep upgrading the roads until we were able to support those things. But then you start running into things that we don't want to really even deal with in this particular city. Now, when we build our next city, the university city, we might do those things in certain small corners of the city, but we will set up our mass transit, which is a whole nother issue that we're probably not going to deal with too much in this city. We may do some mass transit in the city, but we're mainly focusing on exporting our goods and making as much money as possible. Because like I said, what I want to do with this city is I want to make a ton of money, and I want to keep coming back to the city so that I can offload money to other cities and make the first building of those cities really easy. And then we can get a little more creative as far as the way the cities look and stuff. And they could be a little more maybe aesthetic than this particular city. But this city, like I said, is all about efficiency. That's why it's all gridded, and I do love the curvy roads and stuff in SimCity. It's just that since we're so limited on our space, you really got to try to maximize on efficiency, and curved roads really don't help with that at all. Now I'm just looking for a decent place to go ahead and plop down my metals HQ, and that's going to be a little important later on. We're probably not going to deal with that this episode, but we're just getting this down in preparation. So what we need to do is we need to make a certain amount of money with sold resources to unlock the next tier of buildings so that we can get our smelting factory. And as far as that particular thing goes, that's as far as we really need to go down the metals HQ path. But I was explaining it in the last episode. Basically, the easiest thing to do is just hoard your resources, let it build up, and then let it release. And then when the trucks all pick it up, you'll unlock the next level without too much problem. The only thing is you got to spend a good amount of space with your import-export facilities. And later on, you might even want to specialize in that regard, where you can get the bigger export facilities and hold more stuff. So that's exactly what I'm going to do here. I'm actually going to plop a third export facility, and we're just going to try to hoard up on the resources. We won't export them, and we'll see if we can get that done this episode, but that's not really going to be my primary focus. I need to get some other things up, because since I have a fully operational coal mine and ore mine, I need to look back at my power and resource needs for water, and make sure all the water is being treated and everything. So that's pretty much what we're going to focus on after we get all this stuff down. because as it stands, we're probably about half the population we're probably going to get. Like I said, my target is about 60, 80, maybe 95,000 residents, and that's really the most we probably want to have. So now you've noticed that we're really kind of raking in the money, and we can start focusing on some other things, because we do need a large amount of money to upgrade the water plant, because I always like to build the higher tier or the treatment water pumps or whatever they're called, and I like to actually wipe out that original pump that comes with it and get those treatment pumps going. I think those are about 60,000 a piece, and we're gonna need all the money we can get right now so that we can get all that stuff going, because in a second here, let's go ahead and just check. Yeah, see, I've got a big problem here still with this, but we're going to let it develop, and we'll work it out later. So now that we have everything kind of flowing, we got a really smooth operation. In fact, you could almost, like, if you wanted to start working on another city, this would be an excellent point to kind of just like sit back, build up some cash, and then start exporting it. But we're going to take this far beyond what we are right now. So let's go ahead and check on some things that we haven't looked at in a little bit here, such as the police station and the clinic, and see, you know, they're doing good. Everything looks good there. It will be an issue later, but since everything's running smooth, we're not going to mess around with it. So like I said, the next thing, we're going to get another pump in here, because when we looked at the look at that, that's like, it's really low in like with our city growing and stuff. We need to make sure all this stuff is maintained. So we're gonna plop down a treatment pump, and then we're gonna plop down another treatment vat on the waste treatment facility. That should keep us going for a little while longer, and while we're at it, we need to probably add another stack on the coal power plant. Yeah, because we just checked there, and the power's starting to drop down because we have all these heavy industry things going on in the city. So we're going to go ahead and plop down another stack that's going to give us another 75 megawatts. And I believe these go up to a maximum of 300, which, you know, I usually have a couple, maybe even 3 of these going by the time everything's said and done. Another thing I like to do is I like to make an excess of power and possibly water in this city, so that my next city can totally benefit from that, because it's super cheap if you're the city that's benefiting from the extra power and water and stuff. So that's a cool thing you can do as far as the region play goes in this game, now that everything seems to kind of be working as far as patches and stuff. So I changed my mind here and decided, well, you know what, I'm gonna go ahead and get a jump on, you know, these basic services, so that you know, when they do start getting a little more intensive, you know, I'm prepared for it. So I went ahead and upgraded, you know, the police station and the clinic and the fire station, so, you know, I can be ready for future stuff. And oh my gosh, that road is driving me nuts every time I see it. I'm gonna have to just let it go. So we're just checking on our facilities here. We got them pretty much just building up resources, and you know, you can just click on them every once in a while and see how they're doing. So now there's not really a ton to do but wait for things to kind of build up. So let's go ahead and just take a quick pan through the city, and we're just basically trying to waste a little bit of time there. So here's a cool shot of the ore mine, and it's all functioning and moving at I don't know if it's quite 100%. I like to get these things going at about 150 tons per day, and then we'll make the decision later on if we're going to actually plop a second one of each. I don't know if we're going to actually need to do that, but I might do that. I like to leave, I mean, because those require a lot of employees, so I like to leave, you know, extra space. Wow, look at this one. Okay, so that's not filled yet, but we're really starting to get thicker and thicker here, and getting the density, you know, raising us up and stuff. And yay, we get to upgrade our city hall for the 3rd time, so we can actually place 2 upgrades on that right now, but we're actually going to wait and hold off for a little bit. because we're not in critical need, and I like to just wait and, you know, see how things unfold before I start placing things down. But as far as that goes, like I said, I already know exactly what I'm going to do. The next thing, yeah, it's going to be the services thingamabobber. That's right. I've said it like 10 times, but that's what I'm going to do. Of course, this is also a good time when you have these downtime moments to actually like take a look at the graphs and see, you know, really the deep layers of what you're lacking in. Now, see, I did that and I noticed, well, you know, my garbage facility isn't quite keeping up to spec, so we're going to go ahead and add a few trucks to that thing so we can try to keep up the demand. Now, something that, you know, in all of my cities later on, I've never had the garbage facility able to actually keep up with everything. In fact, it usually gets so bad that it can't. And I'm always like, I refuse to build a second one. I refuse. And, you know, I kind of should think about building a second one in some of those cities, because it just kind of gets out of hand. And then, of course, you start getting fires and all that stuff. It all leads to no good. So, we'll see how it goes. But with a city, like I said, this size or whatever, we really should only need one. Once it's fully upgraded, it should be adequate enough to cover everything. And then we got to kind of decide, well, where is the recycling center going to be? Once we start to get that population up, we want to definitely capitalize on the recycling center so we can start, you know, pulling in some plastic. And then once we get that upgrade to start smelting, we'll get the alloy unlock or whatever for it. And this pretty much brings us to the end of another episode. Thank you guys for watching the DX Gamer Show and my SimCity Let's Play. I'll see you guys next time for the next episode. See you later and take care.